Welcome to the Prime Debate. Doping has long been a bane for Indian sports, and this time around India has already opened its account in the shame tally. With just 24 days for the Commonwealth Games, 12 athletes have tested positive for doping. Is it because of the lack of awareness or an effort by the sports persons to hoodwink the authorities? Or is it the sports authorities that are found wanting? That's what we debate on Prime tonight. The rampant use of a recently banned doping substance has left India stunned ahead of next month's Commonwealth Games. The stimulant methylhexamine has been found in the urine samples of several Indian wrestlers, swimmers and track athletes.
Dope shame has returned to haunt Indian sport. 11 athletes have tested positive for doping just before the Commonwealth Games. They have been found guilty of using the drug methylhexamine banned recently by the World Anti-Doping Agency.
Even though WADA is a big organization, their obsession is only in testing and catching the athlete, unfortunately. The educational part, they say they are doing it, but it's found wanting.
It's being said that ignorance and lack of awareness is the main factor behind the athletes failing the tests.
It is used as a medicine. It is used as a supplement, and it is told that it is available in some cooking oil also. So these are the sources. So if somebody takes it as a decongestant for common cold, or they take some supplements in which it is present, or maybe somebody has used that particular oil for cooking, it can come in.
Though it is the guilty players who would bear the brunt of the doping scandal, experts say sports administrators and associated agencies should be held equally responsible. However, the organizers have washed their hands of the entire fiasco.
ऐसा है, जो आदमी पकड़ा जाता है, जिसने अगर वो किसी ने खाया है, वो जिम्मेवार है. IOA या स्पोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया या कोई फेडरेशन 24 घंटे उनके साथ नहीं रहती, और ये करना मॉनिटर कि वो क्या खाते हैं, किस समय बाहर जाते हैं, इसके ऊपर मॉनिटर करना बिल्कुल कठिन है. तो इसलिए जो आदमी पकड़ा गया वो खुद जिम्मेवार है.
Latest media reports put the figure of Indian athletes who have failed the doping tests at over 100 in the past 4 months. This indicates the lack of awareness among the players whose entire careers could be jeopardized. Unfortunately, nobody is ready to share the blame.
How serious is the menace? To discuss this, we have in our studios Brigadier Gurinderjeet Singh, former national long jump champion, Dr. Mandeep Dhillon, Head Department of Orthopedics PGI, Kamaljeet Sandhu Kunar, Asian gold medalist athlete, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Chairman Doping Committee, Indian Olympic Association. Kamalji, let me begin with you now. Is doping in sports an old problem, or does it have something to do with the forthcoming Commonwealth Games, which are there next month in Delhi?
Jasleen, I think it's not just an old problem. It has, worldwide kind of ramifications. It's, various international tournaments, you have examples of top sports persons being stripped of their medals. So this is happening the world over. As far as India is concerned, I think it's about 3 decades old. That's when we first started hearing of some athletes taking drugs. But now, since we have Dr. Manmohan Singh with us, and he's overseeing the anti-doping work for the Commonwealth Games, I think he should tell us how serious the menace now is. Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Thank you for asking me to open the innings. The whole menace, if we go back, is quite old. As you rightly mentioned, that we have had a lot of problem worldwide with sports persons trying to take substances to enhance their performance. Some of them got caught, some of them did not get caught, and they were caught up later on, like some of the American sports persons. They got caught as a hindsight when somebody found that they had been using banned substances, and in their preserved samples those were found positive. I mean, we are all aware of that. As far as India is concerned, it is a problem which has been there for quite some time, and we have had instances of doping doping taking place at the elite sportspersons level in national games. If you will remember, in about 3 national games we've had doping control program, and a lot of athletes, sportspersons were found to be positive, and their medals were stripped in the national events.
But Dr. Manmohan Singh, tell us now, in the run-up to the Commonwealth Games, at least 12 sportspersons have tested positive, athletes, wrestlers, swimmers. Do you think people from the other sports could also be involved?
Certainly. I mean, this could just be a tip of an iceberg as far as I am concerned. But what has left me more bothered is that the same substance has been found positive in all of them. Now, that is a kind of thing which bothers me a lot, because it means that most of them have used that substance either unknowingly, or it has been pushed on to them for some reason as a food supplement. So, and the fact remains that this substance was not a banned substance in 2009.
Yeah, till about a year ago.
2009 list did not have it.
That's right. Dr. Manmohan, I'll just come back to you. Kamaljeet, now you were running in the late 60s and early 70s.
70s,
yes.
Okay.
How rampant was doping in those days when you were running?
I think it was maybe somewhere 0.5%, which did exist somewhere we heard maybe in the Western countries. But that was also just whispers. The people didn't get caught as such, but people generally were clean.
So nobody in your time was taking drugs?
One of the proofs for that was that if you compare the results, if you compare any measurable result especially, you look at the records at that time and look at the records now. The girls are running, 10.6, 7, 8, they are running, which was unheard of. You're running maximum 11.7, 11.8.
That's for the 100 meters.
See,
that's right.
I mean, that sort of a thing, that time 51, 52 was a big thing in 400 meters. And they are running now below 50s. So that
maybe the techniques have improved, and various other factors.
Not to that extent.
Gurudev, I'd like to ask you.
Yes.
Now you were running about a little before Kamaljeet was running.
Same timings. In fact, I was on the international or national arena between.
But did you hear about it?
No, nothing. I mean, we never heard something.
Did you ever try it yourself?
No, never ever. I mean, one was totally disciplined, and we never heard of those sort of a thing. I just wanted to tell you, I would like to quote my example, when Kamaljeet and we were in a different, even same arena, even a thing like having a regional cup of a coffee or a tea bothered us before the competition. I mean, we never heard that there was something or anything which would boost up your energy at that particular thing. We were participating in the events, but our training was such a manner that at particular time you were on the peak. But we never used any substance or anything.
But did you hear about it that time?
Nothing, not in the Indian scenario, never. I
Dr.
didn't.
Mandeep Hillo, now you've been associated with a number of cricketers, and also you travelled with the Indian hockey team. How serious was the problem in your opinion, all this last couple of years?
Well, let me put it in a little, I'll play a little devil's advocate also here. For example, one thing was when I travelled with the hockey team, they were youngsters, and they were very, very, sort of fresh out of the underage teams. They were fairly ignorant about the substance which had to be used. That is one. But they were aware of the problem. So whenever they had a fever, they would come to us and they would ask. Now it's my prerogative as a doctor to guide them, take this or take
or possibly the coach.
Or possibly the coach, whoever it is. This awareness, to my experience, is not going down to the level where it should be. I mean, there were people who may disagree with me, but this is one of the major issues. Second, I would perhaps disagree to some extent with ma'am here, because I do think that training methodology and equipment has changed. For example, pole vault, you got fiberglass poles and you are definitely going to vault much more. So that's why there is a school of thought today which says if there is not enough medical facts proven about the bad effects of doping, why don't you legalize it? Do you know that there is a school of thought which is saying that certain aspects should legalize some drugs which don't have such a bad effect on children, and if they're given under supervision, they would be across the board, everybody would be equal.
Okay, yes.
That's something available. Some people think, I'm not advocating that, but that is what the problem is.
Right.
Dr. Manmohan, are there any awareness programs being conducted, when it comes to the prohibited substance?
Well, as far as the elite sportspersons are concerned, I think a lot of information gets to them, because my experience, I've been the chairman of the National Olympic Committee Medical and Anti-Doping Committee for the last 20 years. As far as the athletes are concerned who are taking part in the national level and representing the country, they're all well aware of it. And to some extent I would say that they are even more aware than the coaches and the doctors accompanying them. They are very well aware of what is to be done and what's not to be done, and when it's to be taken and when it's to be stopped. But the problem arises that the testing methods have now become much better. So even if there is a very small amount of the substance in their system that gets caught. Now that is one part. If you ask me that the awareness at the ground level, at the village level, at the primary school level, I would say no, that is not there, because I had made a proposal to the Ministry of Human Resources that we should incorporate a chapter on bad effects of drugs in sports in the curriculum